afternoon and welcome to Live at 4 on this Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Look outside, it's nice, just don't go out.
I know it feels very cold, but are you starting to think about spring and hoping to get in the garden soon? I'm leading into this very gracefully here.
I think it's 28 days until the official start of spring, and Lisa Briggs is going to be along with a way to help you get to the hump before you get outside. She's going to look at terrariums.
That's right, and we're going to be taking your calls for her as well, so we'll let you know when it's time to call in.
But first, here's what's making news on this Wednesday. Madison has officially been selected as a preferred location for F-35s in an environmental impact study released by the Air Force. Eric Franke will share what all this means.
And we're following up on a major article in the New York Times about the state of Wisconsin's rural roads.
And Michael Bloomberg will have a chance to join the rest of the the top presidential contenders tonight in Las Vegas. We'll preview the debate.
Let's take a look outside today. Boy, that sun was nice to see.
Yeah,
but as you said, it was chilly.
It helps a lot.
Yeah, it does. It really does makes a big difference.
The weather words for today. I think another cold one or something like that.
You're going to make it up. At least make up something good.
Let's go to Dana in the backyard. That's something good.
Yeah. Hi, Dana.
Hi. Still getting colder. That's what we're going with. Yes, yes. If you thought that this morning was cold, it's going to be even colder outside for tomorrow morning. We're going to drop quite a bit overnight. Again, if you're in the sun, you're fine, but we won't have that sunshine helping us out overnight, so temperatures are going to drop into the single digits here around 10, 11 o'clock, and then below zero for our overnight lows. Here's a live look with our WIC TV sky cam. Again, not even a cloud in the sky. A lot of sunshine for us today. It did help things feel good if you were sitting by the window or in the car, but outside it is just a little chilly right now. So we still have alert days in the forecast continuing for us overnight and for Thursday, as temperatures will drop below zero tonight and those wind chills.
A child abduction alert has been issued statewide for the following child. Kira L. Kruminar, age 15, female, white, brown hair that may be dyed blue, green eyes. Child was last seen in Baraboo and is missing from Baraboo, Wisconsin. Law enforcement authorities believe the child may be in the company of Austin J. Daly, 19 years old, male, white, 6 feet 2 inches, 214 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. They may be traveling in a 2012 gray Dodge Journey SUV with an Illinois plate of BD 48729, white sticker on the rear driver's side window. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Kira L. Kruminar, please contact Baraboo Police Department at 608-355-2720.
Decision. The study that came out today is 931 pages long. It outlines every environmental impact at each possible location, from its impact on everything from birds to plant life to groundwater to, of course, possible noise impacts. And this study does acknowledge, quote, the increase in noise exposure to the south and west of the airport would disproportionately impact low-income areas, and the increase in noise exposure to the east of the airport would disproportionately impact a low-income minority population. But again, Madison remains its top choice for these F-35s. Now, on the flip side, proponents say things can be done to mitigate that noise for homeowners. Some proponents in the past have suggested that keeping the base in Madison would have a massive economic impact. Now, our political reporter Amy Reed is talking with lawmakers about this. We'll hear from them on News 3 Now at 5 and 6. And tonight at 10, the residents in that area will weigh in. They, of course, they've been very outspoken about this, and this is going to be a big story to watch in the month ahead. But again, not final.
Yeah, no
It'll
final
be the decision of the Air Force Secretary in a little over a month.
All right, Eric, thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Health officials say another child has died of flu complications in Wisconsin, the third pediatric death in the state this season. The Milwaukee Health Department says it is the first child to die of the flu in the city since the season began October 1st. There have been 400 people hospitalized. Health officials are continuing to say it is not too late if you want to get a flu shot. They say everyone over 6 months of age should get vaccinated.
Madison police are investigating a shots fired incident on Madison's far east side. Police were called out to the 500 block of Acewood Boulevard around 8:30 last night for a report of multiple shots fired. That's near Cottage Grove Road. An SUV was spotted driving away from the area. Several shell casings were found in the street. No injuries were reported. Wisconsin has some of the most deteriorated rural roads in the country. That's according to a recent report.
That report says about 20% of rural roads are considered in poor condition. Madeline O'Neill tells us why our state's roads are being highlighted on a national level. Madeline?
Susan and Mark, the New York Times has a recent piece about the decline of rural roads in our country. Now that focuses on Trimble County in western Wisconsin. But we ask you which roads in our area need work. Hundreds replied, listing highways and streets all over. Declining roads impact all of us, including those in the agriculture industry. Bryce O'Leary, president of Wisconsin Custom Operators, says failing infrastructure means farmers are going out of their way to avoid bad bridges, and that creates problems getting supplies in and out of farms. Last year, a plan from Governor Evers to raise the gas tax was rejected by the legislature, which raised vehicle title and registration fees instead. O'Leary says he doesn't have an answer, but we need to be looking.
No one wants an increase in gas taxes. This past year, there was an increase in registration fees for vehicles, but that doesn't come near close enough to paying for repairs on the roads.
O'Leary says farm equipment has gotten bigger as well, taking a toll on roads that are already well past their lifespan. Coming up at 6, we'll hear from the Wisconsin County Highway Association on how outdated our roads are and what they're doing to help.
All right, Madeline O'Neill, thank you.
Thank you, Maddie. Former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich is a free man, hugging supporters in front of his Chicago home. Blagojevich thanked President Trump for commuting his prison sentence. The Democrat, who was once a contestant on President Trump's Celebrity Apprentice, was convicted in 2011 of trying to sell then-President Barack Obama's vacated Senate seat. Blagojevich was sentenced to 14 years in prison. He served 8.
This is an act of kindness, and I also believe it's the beginning of the process to actually turn an injustice into a justice. It's been a long, unhappy journey. These have been hard years for our children. They've been hard years for Patty and for me.
President Trump granted commutations and pardons to 11 people, including former junk bond king Michael Milken, former NFL owner Eddie DeBartolo Jr., and former New York City Police Commissioner Bernard Kerik. They were convicted on charges that included fraud, corruption, and lying.
Democratic presidential hopefuls will once again come face-to-face on the debate stage, but this time there is a new contender, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. As Dana Backus reports, Bloomberg's addition is causing tension.
Mike Bloomberg will face 5 of his Democratic presidential campaign rivals for the first time when he takes the debate stage tonight in Las Vegas.
Throwing colossal sums of money on television shows you what's wrong with our system.
Hours before the debate, candidates targeted Bloomberg.
And I'm glad he's up there because he's got to answer questions like the rest of us have been doing for an entire year.
I don't think he has the right to buy this election.
Bloomberg, who is not on the ballot in Nevada, is spending $415 million of his own money on ads, focused on states with Super Tuesday contests.
He'll spend more by the end of Super Tuesday than nominees spend in a general election campaign for president. We have never seen anything like this. It's unprecedented.
A national poll released this week shows Bloomberg running second behind Bernie Sanders. But Sanders and the other Democratic presidential hopefuls have had lots of recent practice debating, something Bloomberg hasn't done in more than a decade.
Answer questions about stop and frisk in New York City, answer questions about why he supported George W. Bush in 2004, about why he opposed Barack Obama in 2008, about why he donated money to a lot of Republican candidates.
More than 36,000 voters in Nevada have already participated in early voting ahead of Saturday's caucuses.
The early vote numbers are off the charts. That is remarkable.
The candidates still fighting for the Democratic nomination are hoping tonight's debate performance will win over undecided voters. Danya Backus, CBS News.
So far, Nevada is the most diverse state to participate in the Democratic nominating contest. A third of the electorate is either black or Latino.
About 500 passengers were allowed to leave the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan today, even as Japanese officials announced 79 more infections on the ship. There are now more than 75,000 confirmed cases worldwide and more than 2,000 deaths, nearly all in China. A Japanese infection control specialist who says he boarded the ship went on social media to criticize officials for failing to follow basic protocols. There are currently more than 100 American passengers still in Japan, either on the ship or in the hospital. Even after their quarantine and hospitalization ends, they will still not be allowed back in the U.S. for another 2 weeks. That includes Jerry Jorgensen from Utah, who is hospitalized in Japan.
I could be totally overwhelmed and gnash my teeth and scream and cuss and cry, but wow, if that's really what it's going to be, then that's what it's going to be.
More than 2,000 passengers and crew members remain on the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan.
Dramatic video shows a British snowboarder gasping for breath after she was buried by an avalanche in Switzerland. Professional snowboarder Victor Liebenguth could see the disaster that was about to unfold. Unfortunately, two girls were snowboarding and they didn't see it coming, so the avalanche hit him from the back. He and fellow snowboarders raced to their rescue.
What do you do in a situation like that? You've got professional training.
You should have always with you like a beacon, a shovel, a probe, and ABS backpack, like an airbag backpack. And those tools are like super useful in case you're getting caught in an avalanche or in case you need to search someone caught by an avalanche.
A ripcord inflates that orange airbag, which helps lift victims up from the snow, reducing the risk of being buried and suffocating. So far this season, at least 16 Americans have died in avalanches here in the U.S. That number surprises me.
It is a surprising number,
16.
but that's a very interesting idea. So you wear it on a backpack?
Right, and you pull the cord and it lifts you up.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing.
Great idea.
Still to come at 4, Facebook is changing the way that young people donate to charitable causes.
We'll find out how and why the social media platform is making it easier to donate money. That's when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
It's fun for everyone at Vitense Golfland. Escape winter and enjoy Madison's premier indoor miniature golf course where all ages putt and play. 18 fun Madison-themed holes, remote control boats, and arcade. Offer a great time with friends and family and for special events. Only at Vitense Golfland.
It's perfect. Thank you for choosing our home. Here's a list of our favorite spots to help you live like a local. And here is our Spectrum Wi-Fi password and a channel guide to help you settle in.
Did you say Spectrum?
Experience the fastest starting speeds for the price with Spectrum Internet. At 200 megabits per second, you'll enjoy faster surfing, streaming, and gaming. Switch to Spectrum Internet for $44.99 a month. Call 833-902-4499. Then lose yourself in the best in entertainment with more HD and more free on demand. With thousands of free titles to choose from and the best in live TV, there's always something on. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Plus, download the Spectrum TV app for more ways to watch. Call 833-902-4499.
It happened again. You guys were supposed to leave yesterday.
Is that my robe?
Is it?
Lose yourself in the best internet and TV with Spectrum. Switch now from $44.99 a month each, all with no contracts. Call 833-902-4499.
Built for your next adventure, it's the 2020 Subaru Crosstrek Premium at Don Miller. With symmetrical all-wheel drive, the Crosstrek has vehicle dynamics control and EyeSight driver assist technology. Lease the Crosstrek Premium, $239 per month plus tax, 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, no security deposit, $1939 due at signing. Get all-wheel drive plus MPG. The 2020 Crosstrek Premium at Don Miller Subaru, West on Odana or East Side, High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller.
I didn't choose this exact type of metastatic breast cancer.
but I did pick clarity by knowing I have a treatment that goes right at it.
Discover Piqray, a treatment that specifically targets PIK3CA mutations in HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC. Piqray is taken with fulvestrant after progression on hormone therapy and helps people live longer without disease progression. Do not take Piqray if you've had severe allergic reactions to it or any of its ingredients. Piqray can cause serious side effects, including severe allergic and skin reactions, high blood sugar levels and diarrhea that are common and can be severe, and pneumonitis. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms of severe allergic reactions or high blood sugar while taking Piqray. Your doctor will monitor your blood sugar before and during treatment, and more often if you have type 2 diabetes. Before starting, tell your doctor if you have a history of diabetes, skin reactions, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Common side effects include rash, nausea, tiredness, weakness, decreased appetite, mouth sores, vomiting, weight loss, hair loss, and changes in some blood tests. Ask your doctor about Piqray.
Now open the Signature Hole Grill Bar and Patio at Vitens Golfland. A complete bar including 8 different draft beers and 70-inch flat-screen TVs with great food anytime and happy hour specials. Visit the new Signature Hole Grill Bar and Patio, Vitens Golfland.
There's breaking news right now into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. A 15-year-old Baraboo girl is safe after an Amber Alert was issued this afternoon. The alert did run in the last segment saying that she was missing, but we are happy to report that the sheriff now says she has been found and she is okay. Boeing says it found debris in the fuel tanks of several 737 MAX jets that are sitting in storage.
It's the latest problem Boeing faces as it tries to get the 737 MAX back in the air. The company's vice president and general manager of the 737 program, Mark Jenks, sent a letter to Boeing employees about the foreign object debris. It can pose significant safety threats on planes, including short circuits and fires. In his note, Jenks called it absolutely unacceptable. Boeing says it will address the problem by updating instructions and required checklists for employees, along with more inspections and audits. The Boeing 737 MAX has been grounded since March of 2019 following 2 fatal crashes that killed a total of 346 people. Well, Burger King just released a rather interesting ad campaign and kind of a stomach turner. It shows its new all-natural Whopper slowly rotting over the course of 34 days. It decays into a green and blue mess to the song What a Difference a Day Makes by Dinah Washington. The ad's tagline reads, "The beauty of no artificial preservatives." The preservative-free Whopper is already available in more than 400 Burger King restaurants in the country. It'll reach locations throughout the year. Enjoy your dinner.
Yeah.
A German grandma is using a childhood toy to make her town wheelchair accessible.
Her innovative solution has become so popular that it's rolling out around the world. Her name is Rita Ebel, but this 62-year-old is best known as Lego Grandma. For the past year, she spent several hours each day gluing and stacking blocks like this. More than a craft project, these ramps are a colorful solution for wheelchair users in her West German town.
I started building ramps to get access to shops where, unfortunately, as a wheelchair user, you can't get in without help.
Wheelchair-bound herself, Ebel got the idea from a medical journal that featured a platform made of Legos. She ordered a box of the stackable toys and started building. With the help of Lego donations, Ebel and her husband have created a dozen wheelchair ramps for their town. Each ramp takes 8 tubes of glue, hours of patience, and several hundred Legos to make.
Good for her.
I totally agree. And what a gift of love, too.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful.
And colorful.
Yeah. Surgeons in London have removed a brain tumor from a woman during a very unusual procedure.
This is not something that you usually see in an operating room. Doctors performing surgery while the patient plays her violin. Orchestra violinist Dagmar Turner had a brain tumor located near an area that controls fine movement. The 53-year-old was concerned surgery would affect her music, so neurosurgeons at King's College Hospital had Turner play during the procedure, helping them remove as much of the tumor as possible without damaging her ability to play.
The fine control of the left hand, for example, somebody who's playing a violin, length of the string, pressure on the string, all those fast movements moving between one string to the other. So that was what was unusual for us.
The procedure was a success. Doctors removed almost all of the tumor while maintaining full function of Turner's left hand. The neurosurgeon says this is the first time a patient has played an instrument while he performed a surgery.
That is amazing.
Unbelievable. A tech-led rally on Wall Street sent the NASDAQ and S&P 500 into record territory. The Dow Industrials added 115 points, closing at 29,348. The NASDAQ gained 84. The S&P 500 was up 15. Again, both record closes. Well, technology is changing the way people give to causes they care about.
Hillary Lane explains how with just one click, donating is easier and more accessible than ever before.
Dakari Mills didn't want gifts for his most recent birthday. Instead, he set up a fundraiser on his Facebook page for a cause he cares about.
I saw a lot of my friends doing it, and it just seemed like it was kind of the new way of giving back, you know, in society and doing your part.
Mills grew up near the beach and wanted to raise money for the nonprofit organization Ocean Cleanup. Millions are now using social media in a similar way. Facebook says its users have donated more than $3 billion to various charities through the platform in the last 5 years.
I think the traditional ways of doing fundraising was a little hard, whereas this is just a simple $5 can go a long way and just kind of click an app and do it and you're done.
We're making this choice together as a community.
In 2013, Joe Teplow and Jeff Dobrinsky wanted to create a new way for people to donate. They launched Good Today, an online newsletter where subscribers pledge a few dollars every month. Each day, they share information about a cause. With a click, users can send 25 cents to one of 2 organizations tackling the issue.
For example, today we're featuring ovarian cancer. Here's one charity that's researching for a cure. Here's one that is supporting families dealing with this.
Good Today now has 7,500 subscribers. They raise more than $400,000 to fight everything from childhood cancer to human trafficking.
We're all giving a small amount together, but we're having this massive impact.
And that impact is being felt worldwide as the number of people donating this way continues to grow. Hillary Lane, CBS News, New York.
Every penny counts.
Yes, it does.
Well, still to come at 4, a happy reunion in the Fox River Valley.
A family is reunited after the wife and 2 children were quarantined after visiting Wuhan, China. We'll have that story coming up after Dana's First Warn forecast.
Auto show concept cars are great, especially when affordability is part of the concept. Announcing Auto Show savings time at your local Ford dealer. Now get great deals on Explorer, Escape, Fusion, F-150, and more. Every Ford is proudly built with tomorrow's technology today, all with huge savings. Now that's a great concept. Now get 0 for 72 financing on a Ford F-150 or lease one for just $239 a month during Auto Show time at your local Ford dealer.
People were afraid I was contagious. I felt gross.
It was kind of a shock after I started Cosentyx. 4 years clear.
Real people with psoriasis look and feel better with Cosentyx. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to, serious allergic reactions may occur. Ask your dermatologist about Cosentyx.
So my son says to me, Mom, did you switch your Medicare plan yet? And I say, yes, Robert. Dad and I signed up for a Medicare Advantage plan through Senior Preferred. And he says, Senior Preferred? And I say, yes, Senior Preferred. They give us access to the doctors we want and the drug benefits we need. And he says, that's nice. So how is Dad doing? And I say, your father is fine. My living room, on the other hand.
Senior Preferred. Medicare Advantage plans built for you.
Ish Monroe, Mark Zona, Pete Maynard, Tommy Kimo, and other fishing experts will be speaking at the Wisconsin Fishing Expo, February 28th through March 1st at the Exhibition Hall at the Alliant Energy Center. Same great show with a hot new look, now with even more booths. New Kids Fishing Bingo for the first 500 kids per day. Over 300 booths. Hundreds of boats priced to sell. More gear and tackle than ever. Go to WIFishingExpo.com for details. Kids 12 and under free.
This is a story of the American dream. It starts here, in a middle-class neighborhood with a middle-class kid named Mike. When his father died, his mother went to work and became the breadwinner. She instilled in Mike a belief in hard work and a drive to build a better life. So he started a company from scratch with an idea and endless hours. Today, that makes him the only Democrat in the race who's created 20,000 jobs. He's the only Democrat who's run the largest and most diverse city in America, rebuilding after 9/11, creating over 450,000 jobs and expanding health care coverage to 700,000 people. The only Democrat who's built a grassroots movement to combat gun violence, and he's a leader combating climate change. The only Democrat who's never taken a penny from special interests. Now Mike is running to deliver on the American dream for everyone with common sense solutions and the ability to get it done, because Mike Bloomberg is the only Democrat who can take on Trump, and Trump knows it.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Well, take a look at this. Date night for a recently married Kentucky cops took an unexpected turn when a masked man entered their favorite restaurant, flashed a gun, and demanded cash at the register. You can see the pair react in an instant, pulling their weapons and taking control of the situation. The suspect is now behind bars, charged with robbery. Again, a neck tattoo.
Yeah. Timing is everything, isn't it?
Wrong place, wrong time for that guy. Or maybe right place, right time.
Yeah, exactly.
Them to be there. Diffuse the situation pretty quickly.
Well, we have some video of volcanoes of a different sort.
The National Weather Service of Grand Rapids, Michigan posted video of these ice volcanoes erupting, there they go, on the shores of Oval Beach. The phenomenon is the result of repeated interactions between the surf and the ice shelves.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, some of the ice, the waves, and the formations that come out of Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Well, there they
It's
go.
so cool.
In Lake Superior, the ice is starting to push on shore now.
Skidding, especially on those windy days, definitely a threat. Definitely a concern. So.
I love Mother Nature.
I do too. I'm a big fan. Right now,
I'm not a big fan of the snow.
He's bringing the snow and some colder weather.
Okay, Mom, enough.
Too. Yeah, back it off. We could turn the thermostat up a little bit. That'd be cool. We're expecting temperatures to fall quite a bit overnight. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead right after the break.
Don't miss the biggest night for animals in Dane County, Toto's Gala. Join Dane County Humane Society this March for an elegant evening with our 2- and 4-legged friends. Reserve your seats today at giveshelter.org.
Right now, during Steinhoffel's President's Day sale, save up to $800 on select Beautyrest adjustable base sets. Buy any Beautyrest Black, Hybrid, or Platinum mattress and get free next-day delivery, plus a $100 SpaFinder.com gift card and get 60 months special financing. Steinhoffel's has all of the best brands so you can try before you buy. And right now, it's the best time to save big on your new mattress. We are your mattress shopping destination.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping many people with type 2 diabetes like James lower their blood sugar. A majority of adults who took Ozempic reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it.
Here's your A1C.
Oh, my A1C is under 7.
And you may lose weight. Adults who took Ozempic lost on average up to 12 pounds.
I lost almost 12 pounds. Oh.
Ozempic does not increase the risk of major cardiovascular events like heart attack, stroke, or death.
There's no increased risk.
Oh.
And I only have to take it once a week.
Oh. Ozempic should not be the first medicine for treating diabetes or for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not share needles or pens. Don't reuse needles. Do not take Ozempic if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Ozempic. Stop taking Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your doctor if you have diabetic retinopathy or vision changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping me reach my blood sugar goal.
You may pay as little as $25 per prescription. Ask your healthcare provider today about once weekly Ozempic.
Don't miss the biggest night for animals in Dane County, Toto's Gala. Join Dane County Humane Society this March for an elegant evening with our 2- and 4-legged friends. Reserve your seats today at giveshelter.org.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Just a little cool outside today, but sunny. Again, if you're sitting by the window or the sun coming into the car, probably feels okay. But outside, especially if you're not in the sun, it does feel a little cold. It's going to stay cold overnight as we head into Thursday. Not really seeing our temperatures climb much until Thursday night. They'll rise overnight. Milder weather on the way for Friday and the weekend. Will actually be above average for Saturday and Sunday. And then our next opportunity for a little bit of snow, our next winter storm we're keeping a close eye on, will move in for the middle of next week. Looking ahead to next Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's a live look with our Edgewater Skycam. A lot of sunshine for this afternoon. It really didn't help us warm up too much, but we are still going to enjoy that mostly clear sky through the evening. Looking at the last several hours, our Doppler track has been nice and quiet, and that's how it's going to stay overnight and for much of the day tomorrow as well. Again, things staying pretty quiet actually through much of the weekend. Overnight, our winds still coming from the northwest, so that breeze is sending the cooler air on in. Temperatures are below average this afternoon. We fall quite a bit overnight, and then looking ahead to Thursday afternoon, see that shift. It starts to become a little more southerly Thursday night. That's going to help our temperatures climb heading into Friday. So wind chills tomorrow morning dropping well below zero. It'll feel like we're closer to 10 to 15 degrees below. You'll definitely want to put some layers on tomorrow. At that point, it just hurts on the skin, any bare skin outside early in the day. And our 8 to 14 day outlook, which pushes us through the end of February and into early March, it seems likely, increasingly likely actually, that temperature-wise for much of the Midwest, the Southeast, the Plains, temperatures will stay below average. A very cool trend heading into March, and that really lines up with what we're looking at in our extended forecast as well. I do want to take a quick look at what we're expecting next week. Still a little too far out to really iron down timing or accumulation totals, but the system that we'll be keeping an eye on could bring some light flurries in for Monday, but that main snow event we're keeping an eye on is for Tuesday and into Wednesday. Seems likely for snow through much of the day into Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Again, the exact track of that storm still a little far out to start to talk about any accumulation totals or timing, but that's something that we'll be keeping an eye on into the middle of next week. Overnight temperatures tonight dropping to about 4 below with those wind chills anywhere from 5 to 15 below, so a little cold outside for tomorrow morning. Afternoon highs yet again in the upper teens. A mostly sunny sky, but still cold outside. That's the trend for tonight and for Thursday, but it doesn't last for long. We'll see our high temperatures jump back close to average by Friday. A quick warm up as the wind shifts direction. Sunshine for Friday, partly sunny skies for Saturday and Sunday. A slight chance for some showers developing Sunday late in the day, but that main system we're keeping an eye on holds off until we get into next week. Temperature-wise for the weekend, we will be in the 40s. Again, this is a pretty short-lived little cold snap, but as we look ahead to the very end of that 10-day forecast, again, temperatures trending a little below average into the following weekend. So that's something we will be keeping an eye on as well. A little bit of another cold drop for us.
Another cold drop, but look at the weekend. The weekend looks great.
40s and sunshine, not too bad for February.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Being a farmer reunited with his wife and 2 kids after they were quarantined as a precaution against the coronavirus following a return from Wuhan, China.
Lucy Kavanaugh has the story.
That's it. For Sam Roth, it's a day that couldn't come soon enough. Arriving in California with his 11-month-old daughter's car seat, waiting to be reunited with his family after a month apart.
Just anxious at the moment. Looking forward to seeing them.
His wife, Daisy, and daughters Abigail and Adeline were released from Travis Air Force Base after spending 2 weeks in quarantine. Shuttled by bus to San Francisco Airport.
Bus stop 21. You know where that is?
Sam's wait getting a little longer. Unclear where the family got dropped off. Finally, the moment they had all been waiting for.
Give Mommy a hug. Found you.
Reunited as a family of 4 at last.
So now you're back. How does it feel?
It feels good to be together as a family.
Just glad to see you.
Yeah.
Just glad to be back together with the family.
Their ordeal began on January 23rd, 2 days after Daisy and the girls arrived in the Chinese city of Wuhan to spend time with her family.
I woke up and I received a message from my phone. It's like the whole city got to lock down. And I was like, what?
It's pajama
They spent days cooped up in Daisy's parents' home, under lockdown in a city, afraid to leave the apartment. 5-year-old Abigail keeping her baby sister entertained, putting on a brave face despite the fear.
Scary. What was scary about it?
That I had to stay in.
The State Department began evacuating Americans out of Wuhan, but because Daisy isn't a U.S. citizen, the family wasn't sure she'd be able to leave.
Yeah, I think only like when we pass the custom, then I know, okay, we're good.
Grateful to be back on American soil, happy that the quarantine is now behind them, but mindful of loved ones left behind in Wuhan.
It doesn't really feel like it's over, and as long as Wuhan is still under lockdown and her family's there, this is a milestone, getting our family back together, but it's definitely not the end of the road for the people that we love.
What an ordeal.
Yeah, thousands of stories just like theirs.
Yep.
Well, there's more to come at 4. Lisa Briggs joins us with some tips on terrariums, and later she'll be taking your plant questions.
Tonight at 5, the country's top military officer pays tribute to what's known as the greatest generation on the 75th anniversary of Iwo Jima. We'll have that story coming up at 5.
I suffered with knee pain for almost 4 to 5 years. I wanted to have the conformist after looking at all the different options. I think having the surgery with the ortho team is the only way to go. They all look out for you as a patient.
Managing type 2 diabetes? Audrey's on it. Eating right and staying active?
On it.
Audrey thinks she's doing all she can to manage her type 2 diabetes and heart disease, but is her treatment doing enough to lower her heart risk? Maybe not. Jardiance can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease, so it could help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And it lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Taking Jardiance with the sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack?
On it with Jardiance.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
You know who really loves fresh food? Amateur chefs, stay-at-home parents, salad lovers, barbecuers, smorgasborders, hors d'oeuvres, fondue-ers, and flambéers, midnight snackers, brown baggers, bakers, and throw it in the microwavers. At Pick and Save, you can get all the fresh you want at a great price with same-day pickup and delivery. Because we believe in fresh for everyone.
This is home. This is Attic Angel Community, where your passions can flourish and heartstrings connect in lasting ways. With smiles, laughs, and good friendships. Where beauty and comfort surround you, where every day is worth living. This is home, and life's pleasures are here. Attic Angel Community, bringing out the magic of living.
I suffered with knee pain for almost 4 to 5 years. I wanted to have the conformist after looking at all the different options. I think having the surgery with the ortho team is the only way to go. They all look out for you as a patient.
Tonight at 5, after public comments, the Air Force has selected Madison as a preferred location for the F-35s. What it could mean for the city tonight at 5.
Bitterly cold weather tonight and very cold weather tomorrow will give way to milder weather this weekend, but snow chances will return next week. My forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, the New York Times is highlighting rural Wisconsin as an example of the country's struggle to fix damaged roads. Learn how the problem is hurting farmers tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Here's a live look at downtown downtown Madison. A little snow on the dome. It's cold out there. Are you itching to get out into the garden and do some planting?
Well, bad news, because that's not happening for a while, but you can still itch that planting bug with a terrarium. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here with some terrarium tips.
Or bug that planting itch. I don't know which one.
So this is the final product.
Yes, and this is like a very, what, 60s, 70s thing?
Yeah, it is.
Everything old is new
where's
again.
Where's the fondue?
I don't know. We need a macrame hanger, too. So terrariums are basically just, you're creating a little world. And we always say when you're planting houseplants or anything in a container that you want to get something with drainage. And with terrariums, it's the opposite. You want to choose plants that do better with a little bit of moisture. So not a place for cactus or succulents.
Okay.
Okay.
Because that water's not draining out of there.
No, it is not. So basically, we like to make it, it's like a layer cake. So you start with, it's like extruded terracotta. Like heated so it sort of explodes like the popcorn of a terracotta pot.
But if you're looking to buy them, what are they called?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's got some weird name, but just come to the store.
Okay.
You need that terracotta stuff for terrariums.
Okay.
So you start with a layer of that in any glass container because you want to see through it. And then you add, this is cocoa fiber. This comes in a brick and you water it and it expands and you put a layer of this in here.
Now what does that layer do?
So the first layer is the reservoir that holds the water. The second layer wicks the water from the reservoir to the potting soil, which then you would put a little layer of potting soil on this and then plant. And then you want to put some decorative stones to keep it clean. So if you look at this, you can see the layers.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here's your reservoir, and then your wick layer, and then your soil layer that the plants are potted into, and then a layer of stone that keeps it clean so that when you water it, it doesn't splash up on the plants. And so now this one doesn't have any water in it for transport, but that's how you know when to water it, because you'll be able to see the water,
line
on that reservoir, and when it drops below the wick layer, then you take a watering can with, with a gentle, and you fill up the reservoir, and then you're good to go.
What are the plants you have in yours?
This is a little maidenhair fern, and this looks like a little peperomia, and I'm not sure what that guy is. And then there's a hedgehog reading a book, because that happens all the time in real life.
Oh, that's cute.
Do you have a terrarium section at the Bruce Company?
We do, and we do a couple of classes, too, like workshops on Saturdays. It's super popular.
And a variety of plants? I mean, the flower?
Yes, and usually you're going to see green plants and then you would kind of pinch them, but you can do this in all kinds of containers. Little ones like this, if you have some big glass like mayonnaise jars, all kinds of stuff.
It'd be a fun project for kids,
It is a really fun project for kids, and a lot of people bring their kids to the workshops.
Oh, that's great.
So it's super fun.
All right. Speaking of super fun, we're going to take your phone calls next for Lisa. If you have a plant or garden question, call in now. 270-9933 is the number to call. We'll be right back.
Well, she's the beauty in the red glasses, and we love when she comes. It's Helen Marks-Dix, the State Advocacy Director of AARP Wisconsin, and we're talking family caregiving. We've talked about this issue before. It's even more important because the number is growing. 600,000 unpaid family caregivers that are having to do a long list of tasks. Run through some of those tasks.
Well, sometimes it starts out simple and you're just driving or doing grocery shopping. But because of medical care and people having accidents and surgery, you end up doing some pretty major stuff, including wound care, including taking medication management, doing home dialysis, turning people who are just in bed all the time or not being very mobile. So, if you have medical needs, there's a real need for the person providing that to have training.
Now, I know there's been some legislation proposed that would possibly help all of these caregivers in the situation that they're in. Where does that stand currently?
Well, it's been introduced. Nationally, it's called the CARE Act, and here in Wisconsin, we're calling it caregiver designation. And it would require the hospitals to give you a chance to designate a caregiver, and then they would train that person at the end, not just give them a piece of paper that said what you had to do, but actually demonstrate how to do some of these tasks.
Right.
And so we're waiting for a hearing. We need to have the hearing in the Senate and in the Assembly, and the legislative session is going to end in about 4 to 6 weeks, so we need it soon.
So if people are watching and and this is really hitting home for somebody they know or their family, where can they show their support and find more information?
They can do two things. They can contact their elected officials and ask them to hold the hearing, or they can go to aarp.org/WI and get more information on this legislation.
A wealth of knowledge you are. Thank you, Helen. I'm Emmy Fink, and you are buzzed into Madison.
I wanted my hepatitis C gone.
I put off treating mine.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out about mine.
I knew for years. Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
Right now, we don't have any accidents to report. Looking at the Beltline at Verona, east and westbound are looking okay right now. Of course, the exits on and off ramps getting a little more backed up as more folks try to get on the road. Eastbound, we are slowing down from John Nolan past Fish Hatchery Road. Westbound, starting to slow down a little bit around Park Street, and then picking back up pretty quickly. Downtown right now, those slow and go spots actually not looking as bad as usual, but they're still starting to get a little backed up. Janesville looks smooth, and as does the interstate. From Janesville to the Beltline, it'll be 24 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Sauk City to Middleton, and the same goes from Sun Prairie to downtown. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. Listen up, you Peeps-loving peeps. There are 5 new flavors of Peeps this season. Among them, there's the Root Beer Float Peeps, Fruit Loops, Hot Tamales Fierce Cinnamon Peeps, and there's even Peeps Jelly Beans now. Life is good.
Yes, it is.
Time to get your plant questions answered. 270-9933, the number to call for Lisa. And
4 lines open if you have a call for Lisa, so it's a good day to call.
Let's go to the phones. We'll start with Brian in Madison. Hi, Brian.
Hi, folks. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
I was one of those fans of terrariums you mentioned in the 1970s. and the setup you just showed is really nice, but my question is, can you do that same setup with a closed container?
Oh, good question.
Yes, and we didn't talk about it before, but yes, you can. With a closed container, you have to be careful. You have to, like, open it up and let it air out every once in a while. Otherwise, you get condensate on there. But it's the same as anything else. People used to put, I don't know, rocks or charcoal or whatever. It's just that terracotta material keeps the water really clean, and it's easy to see. So we just like that. So
Okay, Brian.
Thank you for calling.
You know, we're complaining about all of this snow, but it's actually good for the plants out there.
Gardeners love snow, especially when the weather gets really cold like this, because it protects plants. And you might think it keeps them warm, but it really does is it keeps the ground frozen. And so things don't get heaved out of the soil. So it's a really good...
It's supposed to snow around here in the winter.
Yes, I would miss if it didn't snow.
Yeah. And we've had a couple years where the plants have been a little confused coming into the spring.
Well, the polar vortex. Yes. I'm sorry, Gary, from last year. He doesn't like that term.
He doesn't like the word polar vortex.
Sorry, Gary. The other thing is you think about when there are really sub-zero temperatures in like Florida and they use sprinklers to ice things down, it just adds some insulation. So it's sort of counterintuitive, but snow is a good thing. Gardeners love it.
Okay.
Let's go to Karen in Mount Hope. Hi, Karen. What's your question?
My question is about a peace lily. I've had it for a couple of years, and now all the leaves are turning black and dying.
Okay, so with peace lilies, there's a couple of things. They really seem to do better if you're using distilled water or rainwater or well water. Something about all the chemicals in city water are a problem. They're also super susceptible to cold, like drafts. So if you've moved it to a different place in your house near a door or something, I would maybe move it to someplace a little warmer. So usually it's a watering issue or a temperature issue with peace lilies.
Okay, all right. Let's go to Pam in Madison. Hi, Pam, what's your question?
I have a question about my prayer plant, and I bought it, and it was in a like a 4-inch pot, and I think I had let it stay in that pot too long before I transplanted it, and I transplanted it over the weekend.
Okay.
And it's just like falling to the side. There's one just standing up.
Okay, so it's maybe a little bit early to do some up potting. How much bigger a pot did you put it in?
Ooh.
So it was in a 4-inch, and what size pot did you re-put it?
It's probably in a 10-inch now.
Yeah, it's way too big.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so when you repot things, you only want to go like an inch all around bigger than the pot that it was in, and maybe an 1.5 or 2 inches deeper than the original pot. So when you watered that, now there's a ton of moisture, and the plant just can't handle it. So let it dry out. And then maybe what you'll want to do is put it in like a 6-inch pot would be a much more appropriate size for it.
And you shouldn't transplant this time of year.
I kind of like to wait until March. I mean, it's getting close. Days are longer. Yeah. Plants will start coming out of dormancy, but I like to wait until it's a little bit, the sunlight's a little bit stronger. But it sounds like her pot was just giant.
Okay, we have a call in line 1, but I don't know who it is.
I believe it is Melody in New Glarus. Hi, Melody. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Go ahead. What's your question?
I have a magnolia tree, and I didn't get a chance to move it last fall. And I was wondering, should I wait until after it flowers to move it?
How big is it?
It's about 5.5 feet. It's an Elizabeth magnolia.
Okay, and how long has it been in the ground, Melody?
2 years.
Okay, so I would take it as soon as you can get your shovel in the ground to dig it out and try to get before you start to see the flowering. So yeah, I'm thinking like depending on what the weather's doing, maybe even early April if you can get your shovel in the ground. It might very well affect the flowering that you're going to get on it, but that's much better to do it then than to try to move it once it's actively growing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
All right, let's go to Jesse in Barnabelle. Hi, Jesse.
Hi, yeah, I was just wondering, we're putting a garden, we're out in the country now, and we got a lot of deer and turkeys around. Do we need to put a fence around there or other deterrents like hair or something out there, or what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, hair will not stop the deer. You need a fence, and for the best thing with deer, you want a double fence, about 3 to 4 feet apart, like 5 feet high, because they can jump. I've seen a deer go from a standing in a yard and jump over a 5-foot fence just like that.
But if you have a second one.
But if you have a second one, they get trapped.
Well, then what are you going to do?
Yeah, then what are you going to do?
Then you go out and chase them with your car. I don't know. So yes, if you want to keep deer away, even like some of the scent repellents would not be enough to keep them away from a veg garden. So you really need a fence.
All right, good luck. We're out of time. Thank you all for calling in. Thanks for staying for an extra segment.
No problem. It was fun.
It's Lisa's show.
Yeah. Thanks, Lisa. Good to see you.
We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast.
Ready to roll playback?
Surgenian's 90-year history means you pay $90 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet. Get carpet and pad, your furniture moved, and your old carpet recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto is a heart failure medicine prescribed by most cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure, and trust your heart to Entresto.
Here at
Harker Heating and Cooling of Madison, we are proudly celebrating over 70 years of excellence. A lot can change in 70 years, but some things never do, like our commitment to providing our customers with 100% satisfaction every single day. When you make that call to Harker, you can rest assured that a team of qualified, trustworthy, skilled individuals are ready to address your home service concerns. Harker Heating and Cooling, your hometown heroes for over 70 years.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Tonight at 5, bitterly cold temperatures are making their way into the area. Meteorologist Gary Canolti will tell us how long they'll last. Plus, the Air Force's final report of the environmental impact of F-35s that could be coming to Madison. It's been released. We'll tell you what we know at 5.
Mornings look a little different in every household, but weekday or weekend mornings, most of us just want to know what happened overnight and what's up in the day ahead. So turn on News 3 Now this morning, 7 days a week, for everything you need to plan your day.
Even colder.
Even colder. We're going to go down just a little bit more with our temperatures tonight. Of course, the sunshine today still stopped us with our temps in the upper teens. Overnight lows are going to drop to the single digits, so that means by about 9, 10 o'clock, we're already into the single digits. For tomorrow morning, we're falling below 0, landing at about 4 below to start off your Thursday. Because of this, we have alert days in the forecast for tonight into Thursday morning. They'll need to bundle up a little bit early on tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
Tomorrow here on Live Before, we'll find out what's happening in the 608 this weekend.
And it's called Femestival. It's billed as the biggest gathering of female chefs and food producers in the state. And you're invited. We'll talk about that tomorrow on Live at 4.